Hi everyone. So the video for this week wraps up for season one, and I'm super grateful to God, and I give Him all the glory for what He has done and enabled me to do. And I also want to thank everyone for the words of encouragement. I see the comments. Thank you so much. So this video for Saturday is going to be about covetousness. And it's something God really dealt with me in 2024 for various reasons. But I think the most obvious for me was relying on the arm of flesh. And you've been wondering what's the relationship between covetousness and arm of flesh. But when you watch the video, you'll understand. And I really needed to be content with, the season I'm in, what God is doing in that season, and how best to, write that season with God. And covetousness, if you watch the video, is really is a very grievous sin, and sometimes some people refer to it as the sin of all sins, because under covetousness you find greed, you find envy, you find jealousy, you find quite a lot of reactions and characters. And it's something that in the Bible God was very key on us being content. That in the Old Testament, if you look at Deuteronomy right? 5, when it was I'm talking about the 10 commandments. The first commandment started with, you shall have no other gods before me. That means no idol. Nothing should take space. I should be your God, your focus, that kind of thing. Then the 10th commandment then speaks to, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Basically and it lists out different things, basically covetousness. And you can see a relationship between that, is that you shall have no other God, no idolatry. And even ending it talks about, don't covet, focus, be content. I know some people will be like, well, that's the Old Testament commandment. We're in the new dispensation. Maybe that doesn't apply to me. I have a word for you too. 34. So if you look at John 13 in verse 34, it says, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. So what you owe anyone is love. It's not about you being greedy, envious, jealousy. You want to covet what they have. You are hoping that someone is going to do something for you, but it didn't do it. It didn't come through. And then, you're envious about, oh, how are they, living the life, and you are just wondering that, oh, I know what I'm talking about. But God says, no, all I need you to do, the new commandment. So, this is for the new covenant people, which I'm one of, is that the commandment God has given us is just to love. I know it can be very difficult. You look around, you're like, God, I've done everything I know how to do. Why are things not coming through the way that they should? And I just wanted to share something that my friend, thank God for really good and godly friend, shared with me this past week when, I cried like, girl, this is not happening. And then she said, Basala, I need you to sit down and think about it, that if God didn't do XYZ for you, would that be okay? Would you still be fine? Would you look and say, oh God, you're doing it for this person, you're doing it for that person, but you're leaving me out of the equation? But would you sit down and say, God, it's okay, I love you still, even if my life doesn't turn out the way I thought it would, I will still praise you. And that's my prayer for everyone listening, is that you would see God's love through the lens of whatever it is you're going through. You will see God's love even when you look out there and see things happening for other people that you are hoping should happen for you, that you will see only with the lens of God's love, not through the lens of envy, not through the lens of greed, not through the lens of jealousy, not through the lens of covetousness, but through the lens of God's love, to say, wow, God is love. God can do all things. God is my Father. God, I have no other idol, no other God. I am not secretly wishing it could be like this. I'm just thankful for what God has done for me, and I'm sitting with that because I know He's a Father that will never leave nor forsake me. God is enough for me. I pray that you come to realization that God is truly enough for you. I love you all to life. Thank you for sticking with us in season 1, and I can't wait for what God is going to do in season 2. Bye.